Hello, Briggs.
What's up, Dodson?
I'm here to make fun of your plumping lip gloss.
Why?
Why is that important in a pandemic to make sure you have full lips?
It's not important. I just did it because I wanted to.
Oh,
but it feels funky. I'm like,
I
what's
haven't
going
done
on?
that
Am I
in
having an allergic reaction to something? I'm like,
yes. I haven't done that in so long. When I put it on, I'm going to be like, oh my God, it's fire.
I don't think I've worn makeup.
Are we still dusting off the makeup?
Of course.
I know. It's bad.
I'm sure all my makeup is expired, but I put some on today, so I wanted to do
did too.
lips,
well,
too.
I don't want to look like a weirdo in front of like our camera time.
I don't put makeup on.
Well, you don't ever need it.
I'm not a makeup person.
We've already talked about this. I'm the scary Mary. You're the normal person.
No.
That's the way it is.
But so if I put lip gloss on, then that's like
now
a joke?
You're also scary because you're all like, it's tingly and weird.
It is. I feel like I need to go to the doctor and get like Benadryl or something because I just got allergic to something.
I can't
My
wait
lips
to go
are
to the med spa, to the doctor.
To the doctor in
Yeah.
quotes? Oh,
No,
I know what you mean.
I mean,
You're looking for needles.
Dear doctor with a needle for my forehead, how are you?
Long time no see.
Because I prefer to express myself without a forehead that moves, don't you? Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all you.
Illinois is about to open.
Barely.
Come on, we're going to run to the salon, yes?
Well, okay. May 30th apparently is when salons open. I booked my stuff
I know you
weeks
did.
ago.
I have stuff in June. But we're still doing fine with our hair. I mean,
I'm
here's
not.
the thing. Yes, you are.
Okay, well, thank God for Root Touch-Up from Walgreens.
It has
This has
shown us that we are not who's the girl in Shrek? What's her name? Fiona. We are not.
I like Fiona.
Well, I do too. She's got a beautiful soul, but at nighttime things get a little compromised. And we have been okay.
I suppose.
We've been just one ring above good enough.
I'm not a high maintenance person, so even with the lip gloss on, I'm feeling a little bit like that's a little bit too much for me. I put mascara on.
I think I'm a little bit more high maintenance than you are, but I need to be.
You think you are?
Oh.
Or you just are?
Oh. Are you... Fuck off. I don't even have hair extensions. What's wrong with you?
Neither do I.
I'm saying I'm not of the most high maintenance.
Oh, no. But
God.
No.
I could be a lot.
You're not on the
more.
high... I'm just saying you're a little bit more than me.
Well, yeah, because I need more help than you do, duh.
Could you imagine the people, though, that need lashes and extensions and tans and
well, they
all
must
this...
look like Fiona at nighttime right now.
Well, they're
you better
they're
push
hiding.
a boulder in front of the door of that cave because nobody wants to see your shit.
I feel sorry for those people right now.
I do too, because now they're Fiona at night. Sorry.
They must be losing their minds.
Well, maybe that's their lesson. Maybe that's their COVID-19 lesson.
Right? Tone it down. Tone it down.
How
no one
are you
cares.
growing as a person during COVID? I'm not.
I'm becoming a horrible person.
I'm just being grateful that I'm not Fiona at night, okay? That's it.
Exactly.
That is all I have. If I responded better to regular spray tans and things like that and gave more shits, I would do it. But part of my charm is that I just don't give one flying fuck.
I like to get a spray tan before I go out of town. I feel like when I have a little bit of color, it makes me feel better.
But you already have some.
Well, I don't know. I just if I'm going on vacation for spring break or something and I know I'm going to be wearing a bathing suit or whatever, I prefer to have a little bit of color
to see the Midwest
on my ass.
No. Agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to I don't know what kind of a spray tan you've ever had, but have you ever gone to a place where they do it for you? They offer the service? It's not go into the LA tan and do...
I only go to the airbrush one where I'm standing there all naked and compromised.
Okay.
And
have I told you the story?
Spread this way, spread that way, do that, open this.
Oh.
Okay.
So
but it's the girl that's already waxing. So, I mean...
There was a time when my sister was getting married and I was getting ready and all high maintenance up to go to her wedding.
Was this when you had the blinding lashes too? Like the
I had
extensions?
Well, this was a different one.
Oh, okay.
This was my sister.
So there are times.
So I went to the place where I was actually getting the lashes on for the wedding. Mm-hmm. And then the girl was like, oh, if you want, I can do a spray tan for you too. I think she was looking at me like, ooh, I think you might need a spray
The
tan.
one where they're like, okay, hold your butt up. You have to lift your ass up to do it properly.
Okay. But I had never done this before.
Oh.
Okay. So I would just go to like LA Tan and stand in like the shower like
But does it say does it say in there, turn around and lift your ass off of your thighs for the tanning stuff? Does the machine say lift your ass?
Listen, there was no machine. It was a girl with an airbrush machine in her hand.
I know, I'm saying when you used to go before.
Oh, no. You would just have to know to lift your ass so you didn't have the tan lines.
What does it say? Turn around? Is that all?
It just said, well, no, it shows you the different, like pose number 1, lift up your arms, pose number 2, stand to the side, turn around, whatever.
Okay.
It's confusing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people end up like Ross on Friends, like only getting the the dark tan on one side 3 times and nothing on the back. But no, so I went and I'm like, oh, well, so I can get an airbrush tan. She's like, oh yeah, it looks so natural. You don't turn orange. It's beautiful. You don't have any, tan lines or whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, well, that sounds great. I'll try this. Now, this is some years ago, right? I go back there. Now, I wasn't prepared for what was to come. I had not done the airbrush one before by a human. So I walked in there and I thought that they had like a spray tan machine thing in the room back there.
No.
And they didn't.
They hold it.
So it was like...
And you get the tan naked though, right? You don't wear a suit.
No. A suit? I got there to get my eyelashes done. I wasn't wearing anything. Like, I had just come from a workout.
Some people will get a spray tan around the perfect, like, bikini.
No. I wasn't planning on doing this. So I wasn't even wearing... I was wearing, like, running short. I didn't have any...
loose-fitting clothing.
I didn't even have underwear on, okay?
Fine.
So
Fine, Joe Tiger Exotic. He ruined Commando for me, by the way.
Sure as hell did. Ew.
Used to be cool. Whatever.
So I go in there, and she was like, okay, so go ahead and put your hand... Now, this room, by the way, just so you have a visual, was the size of a very small broom closet. Right. And she's like, okay, now just take everything off and I'll be right back. And I'm like, oh, what?
We're doing this together?
I thought she was having me change. She was going to give me like a robe or disposable panties or something, but no. So she comes back in and I'm like just standing there like all awkward.
Hello.
Hi. I wasn't prepared for this, but at least my lashes look good.
Right.
So
just stay focused up here.
She was like, okay, now go ahead and put your hands on the wall and bend over.
Well, yes.
Face the wall, put your hands on the wall like this, and bend over. And she was behind me, like kneeling down.
Well, yeah.
Oh my God. I have trauma from that.
You're fine.
Never again.
Just go into your cave and push a rock in front of the wall.
I was like, I'm sorry. I kept apologizing. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just got back from a run and I'm sorry. I've had 4 children and I'm sorry that
I appreciate chicken and waffles. That's what's sitting right here. So sorry.
When I was in that position, I'm like, so I bet this is the part of your job that you don't like.
You know what, though? The spray tan, like, makes things look all, like, it's the illusion of being really toned and everything, though.
Yes. I mean, they can actually, like, spray it so it looks like you have a 6-pack.
I
know. It's crazy.
They can make that waffle disappear and spray in those abs and everything. It's worth the whole bend over thing.
You know what? I don't want to bend over in somebody's face.
I
wasn't expecting
You're already getting waxed anyway. It's not any different.
I wasn't getting waxed.
No, I'm saying in general, like you do that, it's not any different.
I'm not really sure that had happened at that time. So I mean, I just was completely mortified in any way.
It's the best tan.
That was a
And
tangent. That was a tangent.
When Illinois opens, then we will go and like press against the wall.
Never again.
Yes,
No.
it looks good.
I gave
You
her
do what
such a
you
big
want.
tip.
Thank you for being down there. Here's your 20.
I'm like, who is like, this is what I want to do for a living?
It's part of being an esthetician, you dork. That's just the worst part of it.
I would be like, I'll wax people's eyebrows, but that's where it stops. That is a hard stop.
No, hair is hair and tan is tan.
Gross.
Sorry.
No.
We'll
We
be
are
fine.
dying for the salons to open. Oh my God. And I might even do that if
Is
I need
that
to.
your
That's
WTF?
let's just make it that. I think that's a big enough one. I think that constitutes a WTF. What do you think? Bend over. Come on. When I wasn't expecting it.
You win.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dork.
This does not flow well with our topic. But,
No, it's fine.
But
I'll give you my WTF, and
Okay.
then you can go into your, and then we can be focused on the topic. I'll keep mine really quick because there's really nothing to say except I'm sorry that you found my drugs, child. I didn't mean for you to.
What?
So I have
Oh.
I have my edible candies.
Uh-huh.
And I'm very good because of the little girls that I keep them locked up because they look like candy.
Mm-hmm.
And they are for me.
Right,
So
but they can easily mistake it and eat it themselves.
So I really don't prefer to have an altered state during the day. I really have this for like, like
Go to bed and it's mommy's time to get
I
altered.
love to have them before I go to bed.
Okay. What is it? It's the gummies?
No, they're
Or
just like
chocolate?
little candy mint thingies.
the mints,
of,
okay.
Yeah, little THC mints.
Because those are legal in Illinois now.
Disclaimer.
January 1st.
Just like Advil, okay? So they're in a little tin, whatever. So the one night I just was like, whatever, I'm putting them back in my robe. Like, I don't know, had a bad day. I just couldn't open the safe. And the tin is like kind of locking anyway. Still shouldn't have them in my robe, but whatever. I'm
Like in
I'll
your
put
robe
them away.
pocket?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which was in my closet.
Okay.
So the next morning I went to shower and I forgot my robe, maybe because I had had THC the night before. But I was like, Madeline, can you bring me down my robe? So she did, and it's like clang, clang, clang the whole way because they're in a tin. So she walks into the bathroom and she's holding them and she's like, Mom? I'm like,
Did she know what they were?
yes, because it says right on there.
I didn't know if it was labeled.
THC
Oh, it
or
did.
whatever. Yeah, I'm like, oh. She's like, what's going on? Like laughing at me though. She's like, seriously? Because she's such a purist.
Right. I give that until end of sophomore year, but continue.
I mean, I could have been like, you know what? It must be really fucking nice to have your shit so well together that
You're so
you
perfect.
don't need drugs, but mommy does. So I'm like, oh, well, it's legal medicine. And then I was just kind of throwing some bullshit at her, which was not a lie. I was just like, how do I twist this honest embellishment in my favor? Like if my knee hurts or I need an Advil. And I was honestly taking them when I was having all of those headaches. But I was just like, oh, please, God, go away and never find my drugs again. Like, I just don't want to explain this to you.
Right, because you were having the migraines where you were being put in the hospital.
Right. So I'm like, give me my robe, give me my drugs, and go away. Thank you. But she found them and she's like, then she's like,
So is she getting all judgy?
well, she's like, you do you. I'm like, I will.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Thanks for throwing the whitey Y at me.
Right.
That's so, like, what does that really mean when they're like, well, you do you? That means, like, you're a sucky pile of shit, right? When she's like, I mean, you do you. My body is a pure temple, and I refuse to put anything in it. But, I mean, you do you. What are you calling me a toxic loser? Is that what that means?
Yes.
Oh. Fine. Give me the crown that says all in diamonds, toxic loser. Because mommy will have her edibles for nighttime.
Now you go make your smoothie, and I'll see you in the morning.
Have some more spinach. Don't break the Vitamix.
Yeah. That is a definite
That's my
what
WTF
the hell moment.
Well, it's my fault, but go away so I can get high. I mean, God.
Usually you don't want your kids to find your stuff, your stash.
Well, thank God it's legal. I really only have it because it is, because...
Right. I mean, what would be your defense? Like, if she could just say it's illegal, and then what are you supposed to do when you tell them something's illegal? Then they're going to put that back on you.
Thank God I didn't have to explain that I was committing a crime. I only had to explain the fact that I prefer to be altered. Go away. What do you want from me? Like, am I supposed to stand there all day sober and, like, make you tea and wipe your ass and listen to your fucking conspiracy theories without my drugs and bourbon? No. The end.
Not a chance.
Nope.
You have to be altered for this.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. So has she brought it up since, or did
Not
she
once.
stop?
I don't really think she actually cares that much.
Oh, okay. Is she kind of like, I know why you need that?
Probably. Because
she can see what's going on in the house.
She's not blind. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Just stop looking at me so I can cry. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh my God. Yep. That's a wow. That's a raw one.
Well, you know what though?
And brave of you to
edibles
come
are
on
so
and
refined and everything. I mean, I could have been like, isn't that a neat tin for Advil?
Can I have my Altoids?
Right. My breath's a little,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, better that than like a pipe full of actual grass. I mean, God bless the edibles. They're so refined. You just sneak a little, nobody smells it.
Yeah. Well, or they just find it.
Whatever.
Yep. Moving on. Hopefully she never throws that back in your face again,
she will.
She will.
That was probably the worst part. I'm like, shit, she's got ammo. Damn it.
She totally does.
Here's her ammo. At least I don't have to like take drugs to get myself through my life, right? Right. You're right.
Talk to me when you're 45 with 4 daughters.
I'll get you some mints.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
All right. You're going to make a hard shift to the content. And screens and teens and the screenager culture.
I mean, it's definitely...
And ramble on about it so I can drink some of my bourbon.
Well, please take a sip. I mean, I've had 14 to your 1, so...
It's for the camera.
Get on it, Dodson. Yeah,
but
one of my what the fuck moments is just during this whole quarantine and the kids not physically being in school. I'm not talking about e-learning. They're physically not out my door, and they are sleeping until 2:00 in the afternoon. These teenagers.
Because they're on their screens till 4 a.m.?
Of
what
course.
are they freaking watching?
They're on video games.
See, you have a different screen life than I do. We don't have video games.
Yeah, because you have girls.
Well, wait, do you count the stupid Roblox as a video game? Yours are too old for that.
I don't know what that is.
My younger two are like Roblox. They're like, is there some laundry that we can switch so you can buy us more Robux for Roblox? I'm like, and then when they're playing, they're like, she killed me. She killed my horse. I'm like, stop saying kill in your game. What are you doing? I guess it's a game.
What do they play it on?
I don't...
Like, what device? Is it like on their phone or an iPad, or is it an app, or what is it?
The younger ones have an iPad to share. And then because we don't have a lot of screens for e-learning, Brian loaned them his iPad. So the two of them will sit on the iPads.
Okay.
The two little ones.
So they're not in the Xbox world. Like
we don't have any of that.
Yeah. See, I have
so
3
that's
teen
not
boys.
A phone game.
Yeah.
That's like plug it into the TV and stand there and play game.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're up doing that.
They each have an Xbox.
Are they together when they do it though? Like in the same room?
No.
They have them in their bedrooms.
Yes.
Their own.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's a video game, like you have a mission to accomplish and you like go to the next level and all of that.
Well, the older boys, so, they like to play GTA.
What's that?
Grand Theft Auto. Totally inappropriate. I hate every minute of it, but it's what they do. Yeah,
This is a world I don't live in.
No, you don't have boys and yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they stay up until like 4 a.m. playing that.
My high school ones do, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My younger one that is in junior high still, this is kind of the topic that I wanted to bring up with the whole teens and screens, which I think is a huge, huge hot topic because this is, okay, we are the first generation of parents to ever navigate the internet with our children. We're the first generation of parents to navigate internet,
Like
YouTube,
the dot
app,
com
like
world,
social
and
media,
everything. Yeah.
social media, everything. Yes, absolutely.
I
Our
remember
parents
when
didn't
MK
deal with
was
that.
born, it was like just becoming a thing to have a BlackBerry.
Right.
Remember that?
But the
It wasn't even
BlackBerry-
have a real screen. It just had like email.
No.
There wasn't anything happening in it.
No, it just had the little red light that blinked when you had a message or whatever. The world that we live in now is so, like, it's not even something that our parents, like, if we were to ask our parents, what did you do when, blah, 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 and ask, like, older generations advice, they don't have anything to gauge from. They don't have that. We are the first ones navigating
I see
this
what you're
world.
saying. Like, we don't get to go to them and be like, how did you handle the screen thing with your kid? The
Yeah.
same way that you would be like, okay, hey, Dad, did you spank or not spank? They have an answer. We don't have it. They don't have a thing to say to us for like screen versus not.
No, because we don't have...
But every parent in our group is going to say one day, of course we let them have their screens. Like, who wants to fight that battle?
Because there are some people that fight that battle.
I do like that it exists as a thing that I can constantly take away.
So it is a really good carrot to dangle. Mm-hmm. It's used for really awesome consequences and discipline. However...
They know how to get around it, though.
They do.
Well, the older ones. So the other day,
Yeah, they
MK
do.
was being so bad. I'm like, well,
Give me your
now
phone.
your phone is shut down. I don't even take it. We just shut it
You
down.
can't... They're not going to hand it to you.
She won't hand it to me, but now I'm going to make her hand it to me, or I'll wrestle her for it, even though I'll lose. Because she's like, go ahead, shut it down. I know how to get around it. They can hack their way out of everything.
I know.
Why don't you hack yourself out of your conspiracy theory?
Right. I know people whose kids have gotten their phones taken away or their iPad or whatever, and then they have a secret stash of an old phone or
God.
an old iPad from their friend's brother that was like, not using that phone anymore. It was like a older generation, whatever, but they can still hook up to Wi-Fi and still connect somehow.
And they also have all of those secret, like, what do you call those? It used to have a name on Instagram, Finsta or whatever.
They have all the secret accounts.
But now they have those on everything.
Yeah.
Like MK's got like 3 like private trashy accounts. I'm like, how am I supposed to follow all of these and see all of the bad things that you're doing? You have 4 accounts.
That's the point. You're not supposed to follow them.
Oh.
She's got the account that you follow, and then she's got her real account that her friends follow.
Right. And then
Yeah.
she's got private for when she's saying like the wrong thing.
I love when
Oh my God.
I love when I have, because I have some friends with younger kids, and I've kind of gone through these stages with my older teens. And when I say like, oh, they're like, oh yeah, I finally let her get an Instagram or a Snapchat or whatever. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, you can forbid it all you want. They're going to do it behind your back, period. They are.
I know. Well, Frank's only 10 and she keeps getting TikTok.
But so
I'm trying to hold that off until their age ends in teen.
Yeah.
Because TikTok is not appropriate.
no, you
for
can
a
find
second.
so many
Oh my
things that are
God.
inappropriate. I hate TikTok. But anyway, they will get around it. But I love the friends of mine who have said, yeah, mine doesn't have that Finsta or that fake account or whatever.
Yes,
And I'm
they
like,
do.
Okay.
That's where they do the stuff that they're not supposed to do.
So when you go on there and, oh, my kid only posted 2 pictures in the last year, that's because that is the account that they let you follow. Wake up and smell the coffee, mama.
It's sad
I'm just
though
saying,
because
it sucks.
children have a tendency to have who they truly are and then their naughty self. I mean, that's how my Rose is. MK is so freaking honest. I'm like, can you not say that in front of me? She's like, I'm just being honest. I'm like, don't. Take your honesty out the door to your Finsta. I don't want to hear how graphic you are.
Yeah.
Give me your fake self.
Right.
Please.
I know. And
I mean, not really.
There's pros and
but
cons to both.
Jesus.
I don't like oversharers either. My daughter has overshared stuff with me before. Stuff that I do not want to know.
I know.
About friends
everything.
or about...
And I know
I'm like,
that is a blessing because then my next daughter is so secretive and I'm like,
Yeah, those are the
find
ones
you
need
in
to
an alley one day. But MK, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you're doing. Also, can you just take like 9,000 steps back away from me?
Yeah. But so as a parent, do you feel, I mean, do you just give them like free reign of social media devices?
As far as like, well, we don't have an abundance of devices in our house.
Well, your teens have phones, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's their connection to the world.
Well, yeah. I don't police it as far as like, I mean, some moms have those little like nerdy stations where they're like, okay, bedtime, put your phone in there.
And the charging station in the kitchen?
Yeah.
So that they don't have devices in their bedrooms?
I don't have that.
I tried it.
You did?
I tried it with my older ones. Yeah, for sure.
I'm not controlling that way.
I was not at first because with my daughter, she had self-discipline. She was always getting very good grades. She was always, she never had a problem getting up and getting to school in the morning. She was always in a sport. So once I saw that it started affecting their lives or their functioning on a regular basis, that's when I had to put a hard stop to that. Because I would see that the screens were taking over their lives. It was affecting their sleep. It was affecting their mood. There are studies that show that. And, there are studies that have shown that kids spend an average of, I think the teen boys spend an average of over 11 hours per day playing video games. Per day. That's insanity.
I think that might be its own little like mini beast of screen time though, is the video games. Mm-hmm. Because there's all of that stuff like, the anxiety and I mean, there's a million different things to argue like that idea of you see somebody that looks perfect, right? Through your phone.
Through the filters.
Well, yeah, all of that. And then
it's an illusion.
Well, but they don't know that.
No, they don't.
And then they're like, why can't I look like this?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I look like that?
Yep.
And then all of like the anxiety and everything that comes with this pretend strive to be perfect.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing for these kids.
That's its own like beast of psychology. And then there's the like amount of time in a screen and how that's affecting your actual lifestyle. I mean, you could argue a million different points to all of it, but there's the lifestyle part, but then there's also like the mood, right? Or the, whatever you want to call that, the emotional health that deteriorates.
The self-esteem that
well, they're already having bad
gets
self-esteem and then.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you remember
when
we were kids?
Too. Don't you? I am also affected by it and I'm not a teenager.
No, I'm affected by it too as a mom. Like, do you, I mean, even as a grown adult.
As a grown woman, take out the mothering part, as a grown woman, right? I mean, sometimes when that people are doing the filter and I'm like, okay, stop like fuzzying out your neck. We all have like these necks that have been holding our voices for so long and gravity's touching them. Don't blur those out. That just makes you look like you don't want to admit the fact that you've been using your body for 40 years.
Right.
But then the people that are really good at like the filters and are already pretty to begin with and are posing, showing their affluence and everything. I mean, for a second, the second that you see it, human reaction, right, is like, oh, and something negative, right? Like inadequacy or envy or something. And then because we're grown-ups, we can say, well, okay, I'm not going to go into that realm, right? But the teenagers don't know.
Because we have the capacity to separate that, and our brains are developed.
They see it,
not.
and they're like, oh, perfect life and beauty that I don't have. Well, fuck.
I'm a piece of shit.
Right, and then there is no negotiating or capacity to do any sort of resolution.
No.
Just immediately like,
shut down.
Right.
So I'm going to cover myself in my blankets, in my bed, in my dark room, while the rest of this group of high school girls goes out and hangs out together, and I'm not.
That thing too, though, seeing what people are doing without you.
I think that is one of the hardest things for the teenagers.
The mean girl stuff.
Yes. It hits boys too. It was hard enough when we were kids if you were the one that was left out of a birthday party, right?
But you only knew like every 3 months. You didn't know every day.
If that.
And when you found out, maybe that day that you found out, you had just learned a new trick on your skateboard and it didn't matter that much.
Right. But this is like, if you're left out and you're on social media, it is in your face.
It's a bad day.
On your feed, nonstop. Everybody's posting photos, hugging, they're all hugging, and you're the
sharing
one
their lice and their COVID.
And they're all, and you're at home.
Right.
That is so hard for these kids.
I know.
That is so hard. That is why
they're not meant
therapists
to
are
deal
just
with that.
No,
because it's hard
not.
to see as a grown woman.
Yes. And
if I cared more, sometimes I have to really put myself in that place of caring, right? Like if my self-worth came from being included and being invited to every party, and I really cared, I would be super devastated. I have to imagine that, right? Because that's how they feel. That is their life right now.
It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
It is.
Do you feel that way as an adult? Like with the capacity to...
Do I feel hurt if I see that I've been left out?
Yes.
It's rare.
Yeah, mine's rare too.
It's my fault though because I just don't give a freaking shit.
No, I don't either.
So I can't.
People do though.
I know.
They do.
If I gave shits, I would be really hurt. Like it would be a thing in my adult life that I would have to like work through.
Right.
I don't have to work through it because I don't care.
I don't either.
So that's to our advantage.
Very much because
For
the people that truly get hurt and take it personally, as like a personal, like we're purposely going to leave you out.
There are people that take that as, oh my God, what's wrong with me? As grown-ups.
I know.
And that's magnified for the kids because it's immediately something's wrong with me.
I know. It's tough. It's hard. But I think that this all wraps up with the whole idea of the screenagers. There's a movie, a documentary out right now called Screenagers. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It is just absolutely it just defines this whole generation right now of kids, adults, everyone walking around just on their phones, just attached to a device, it is an addiction. Oh, it's an actual addiction.
It is an addiction. I think
like
more
heroin.
So. Yes, but I think even more so with the video games, right? Whereas it's like, as soon as I get back on that screen, like there's something happens to the brain with the like positive response that you get in a video game. So
I have 3 boys, right? And I think video games are more prominent with boys, but I know girls play them too, of course.
Generally speaking, yes. Like we don't have any of those boxes, Xbox, or we don't have any of those.
You know, PlayStations, Xboxes, nothing?
Not a thing.
Okay. I mean, when I was younger, I think I might have had an addiction to Nintendo.
Well, we had Super Mario Brothers.
I mean, when I could not stop playing Super Mario Brothers. I would be playing Super
because
Mario
of those
Brothers
weird
all
little
night.
goals, right? Like you're like, okay, if I just can do this like 20 more times, then I'll get that little fuck up over the wall, right?
Exactly.
So he can go to the next thing.
Exactly.
So whatever that thing is that reinforces the brain is still present, but more so because the games are better, or they're better than Mario jumping a freaking brick wall. Those were lame.
Amazing at the time, though. Amazing at the time.
Pole position being the best.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. But I feel like, when your kids are playing these video games, they almost act as though they are living in another world. They become a different person, and it changes their whole
That gets to
demeanor.
be part of the addiction, too, is maybe they're addicted to escaping into it, right?
Yeah, it's
at least the video game thing is It's not a place where they're saying, oh, look at so-and-so with her friends that I'm not there. Or look at so-and-so looking more beautiful than me.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying it's better at all, because it's not healthy to escape into an addiction like that. But at least it's not, I don't think, compromising their self-worth, right?
It's making them feel better. It's making them feel a part of something. At least with the video games that my boys are playing, especially right now, this is such a weird time that we're in right now with this quarantine.
Well, that's
that
different.
The kids
They're all going to come out like little addict meth heads to the screens, because how can we?
What else
we
are they
can't
supposed
go
to do?
anywhere,
Especially in Chicago, in this area where the weather is shitty every other day.
Wait, I know. Let's flood the town. Wait, let's make it cold. Don't get addicted to your screens. Well, fuck you. What are we supposed to do?
Exactly.
Get addicted.
Yep. And a lot of these games that they're playing, they're in they're called parties with their friends. So
They're actual friends?
they're actual friends. So
Not rando, scary people that try to
Well, they have those too.
That's a scary thing too.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other element.
Someone asked Hazel to lunch through her Roblox. I'm like, oh
No.
my God, can we not have this be an extra thing in mothering?
No, my
Don't
boys
talk to strangers in video games also.
I know.
Talk about
it's scary.
ICE and Anthony Kiedis and MK's conspiracy child trafficking rings. God.
You can monitor that, but you can put parental. This is a whole other thing. This is a job in itself, a full-time job, managing and monitoring all of these things.
I'm going to quick give you my win before I forget. My win is that my teenager is a billion times smarter than I am with anything that has a screen on it.
Uh-huh. Well, they all are, of course.
But she's brilliant.
Uh-huh.
And she can lock the little girls out of everything. She's like, here, Mom, look, I did all of this for you. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
That to me is like gold and $5,000.
Yeah.
Thank you for locking your sister away from those weird predators.
Yeah. I know, that's so scary.
It's horrible.
But on the flip side of that, when right now in this time when the kids are not able to hang out with their friends, really, they're not at school, they're not having these social interactions, how hard am I going to be on my 15-year-old who's getting A's and B's, a nice kid, and at 2 a.m, he and 9 of his closest friends, which are also good kids, are engaging in this game together.
You're not. But are you going to absolutely change how you act in the name of poor grades?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I do too. Mm-hmm. If I see enough of those emails, why?
No, I put a shutdown.
All the emails, like, your child was only half engaged in this assignment, and your child, I'm like, oh my God.
What is your source for controlling that then? You take the actual physical device?
I don't have that problem at all with the 15-year-old because she's a straight A student. But the 13-year-old is like, thinks school is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I hope that some prince on a horse comes in and just feeds her to wash dishes because she doesn't care.
Yeah.
So I take hers all the time.
Yeah.
All the time for hours.
Have you ever noticed the change in behavior when you take the device?
A positive change?
No.
Oh. No, but mine will pick up pencil and paper. She's like, look, I wrote out a poem. I'm like, well, you finally freaking did something that wasn't your thumb on a screen.
Oh, no. If I'm give me your phone, they're turn into this complete psychopath.
I have to wrestle it. Oh. Sometimes I sneak it. I'm like, look over there.
In the middle of the night. Yeah. I have
I had to wrestle the
mine.
iPad away from the baby yesterday because of the video game part, though. Mm-hmm. She's, the 4 sides. We each had 2 sides. And I'm like, give that to me. She's like, but my Roblox. I'm like, give it to me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pulling on the iPad.
You have to
Mommy, no! I could lift her by it.
You have to get, you know what? You don't have to give it to me. I'm just going to do it from my end over here.
Well, this is the thing for them, though, because it's quarantine. They don't have screens. This is just here are your iPads right now because I have other kids to teach, and I need to pretend to work out. And
I know. Oh, my God.
That's not fair. The screen thing during quarantine. There has to be quarantine screen and then regular screen. That isn't fair. That is the big, like, fuck you to parents.
I do
to be like,
I think so too.
be in quarantine without the devices. No.
Yeah.
Don't drink too much. Follow the rules. Wear your mask. Don't take too many of those legal drugs. Keep your kids somewhat off of the screens. And smile. No. Screens and drugs.
I swear. There are some benefits to the screens, but for the most part, well, there are. I mean, don't you think?
Benefits?
Well, yeah, I think so.
And what? I mean, there's a dictionary here that we could read instead.
You'll read the dictionary, but they will not. Their dictionary is not their generation.
It even has little, like, pictures, though. Like, once you open it, you'll be really drawn in. It's like, yes. It's as engaging as, like, the never-ending story for Atreyu.
Okay.
Promise.
Okay. Well, we'll keep navigating the screenagers and the screens and teens as best as we can, but go stay strong, parents. Wow.
We have to talk about it after quarantine.
I know.
To be fair. And it's we'll add it to the list of ongoing topics.
Yeah, I agree. We have to, because it's going to become, like, once the world opens up again and these kids get back into school, for the love of God.
We'll see about that.
Sports starting up again, activities starting up, the weather gets nicer, they're outside, they're riding bikes, they're doing whatever. Hopefully, the screen time will lessen a little bit, but it's a full-time job.
Your
That's
optimism is as adorable as you having to spread eagle for your spray tan.
Thank you, Dodson.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Next time.
Wash your hands.